You know this is a problem if I'm coming out of the woodworks, making a video on it after how many years of covering DMO content and just putting it to bed because of reasons? You know it's bad. I'm the old and mostly forgotten Omada Stein Omada, talking about Digimon Masters Online in 2025. Alright, let's get this over with. So the reason that this is a big deal that caused me to come out of retirement like the old uncle who wanted to just be on retirement and just watch the farm, watch the hillside, and just watch the whole thing just burn as just a slow end comes to us all, is this update, this May 28th update from DMO that will be coming to global Digimon Masters Online within the next 2 weeks. Maybe 3 if they're feeling generous. Maybe next week, for the first week of June, if they're feeling really generous. So let's just blitz through the first part here because nobody really cares too much about the new Seal UI. As nice as it is, it gets glossed over as it's the first item on the list here. That probably is the one item that pissed people off the absolute least. It's the second one down here. Dungeon changes. Changes in dungeon entry method. This is where you will no longer, when entering a dungeon, you will no longer be required to obtain a ticket item to enter. Some dungeons are excluded from the entry method change. And they give off a few examples here. The Coliseum, where you go to spend your Terra keys, Tunaland, KDG for the twice-a-day spirals that expire in 7 days. Nice mechanic. Thanks for nuking the tour that everybody can't level up to 170 because of the recent hit and evasion changes, making everything a mess, which was their own real solitary fix to fixing Davis's 6-piece set, was just make the Digimon be able to hit you regardless of your evasion, and Shadow Labs, which is a pain all in itself. With the recent with the latest competitive esport failure that was TGT, they noticed, and they finally woke up from their stupor and noticed, these people are clearing Susanamon Dungeon in 2 minutes. Isn't that kind of absurd? How many buffs is this person running? Yeah, that's where it all started. That's where, looking down from the second floor of a house, looking down, and that's where you freeze frame by frame where the person begins to fall through that first step. And there's multiple steps going down to the first floor. That is the first step going towards the big tumble, the big fall, the fall of DMO 2025 if this keeps up. Dungeon reward changes. So now when you clearing dungeons will no longer just give you your items to drop, which would usually be if you cleared Royal Base, you would get like the X antibody cores, the R1618 random chipset boxes, the double chipset kits that you need the three for to make a specific random double chip box, the already nerfed and nuked Terra bundle. Yeah, it would be those. Those are going away. Lovely. Except for the seal drops, because seals were already a pain to get anyway. Merciful modes, like low, less than a percentage chance to get it. Then SD Susanamon Dungeon, same thing. Even I've rarely seen in my multiple years of being a part of Susanamon Dungeon, rarely ever seen X7 seal drop maybe twice. Then we have Digimon Kaiser, which is MDG, which is the Metal Greymon dungeon. That one's not going to be dropping goodies when you take down the dinosaur. That's specifically from quests now. Shopping Street Easy, Shopping Street Normal, that is Gullus, Gamamon. Same stick, same issue. The only good thing is now you can actually save your dims and not lose your dims because Gullus decides to nuke you on the stairs, nuke you on the side of the building, nuke you by the NPC, nuke you out of nowhere for no specific reason, nuke you because you dipped your toe in the circle and the game won't even tell you what AoE hits you. It just says fail. Kaiser base easy, Kaiser base normal, same stick. Which with Kaiser base hard here, as far as I can tell from my research, the normal version has not been patched for the international version. So it's still bugged, they still hit you really hard, they still nuke you for too much damage. It is a very, very hard dungeon to clear, even for those up there in the upper echelon of the 1%. And Dark Web, because Dark Web was already batshit insane to do the first time, you need to do it another 2 to 3 times. More on that when I scroll down. A weekly quest style reward quest will be added to the target dungeon. So, yeah, they will all have weeklies. It's partially why they expanded our quest cap from 20 to 40, in spite of the fact that they cannot get rid of 2 bugged tutorial quests. I emphasize that there have been 2 bugged Digivice quests that have not, I repeat, have not been fixed for over several months. And they chose, instead of patching the 2 quests out, which is literally as easy as deleting 2 lines on the Excel spreadsheet, they just double the quest capacity. Yeah. Multi-figure dollar game, by the way. So yes, so the rewards for the weekly have changed to being of you can get your contaminated digicores in order to either exchange it for items, work to get your vital bracelet, your executioner's knife, which is linked to your key rings. You need your 20 to Gamba, your 1 in 11 chance to get one specific family type that fits for your Digimon. For me, you can go for Virus Buster, which matches like 3 U-Digis right now. Wing Guardian matches 3 of them as well. UK for Miku. And Bloom Lordmon. And the list goes on with that. DA for Zed and to be decided for Eosmon. Yeah, you need 20 to run a 1 in 20 Gamba, so I hope you saved up a bunch of dims. Oh, never mind, they're nuking it. 30 Terabars, and then the random Moses, and Digimon Masters Dungeon Coin. More on that when we scroll down. Easy version, Contaminated Digicores, yep, 4 pieces, 10 Terror on there, yes. And the random materia boxes, the breakthrough materia boxes. And then we have Metal Greymon Dungeon, 40 evil pieces, which is very generous, considering you need 25 per piece to make a equipment piece. They need to make an exchange for the excess pieces for the people that have already done it. It's already redundant. Slightly buffed up the Terra from 15 to 25. Still the same coin issue. Kaiser base normal. You have to be an Uber whale to complete this one on normal right now with its current condition. LA DMO can clear it no problem because they got the patch. Easy mode is the one that most people will end up being stuck with because it's not bugged. So yep, so 4 pieces per run, and yeah, literally it's just that there's no more floor pieces really. It's a mess. You went from potentially having 5 to 6 pieces on good luck. Yeah, 1 to 2, and then 2 to 4. Yeah, so. And then dark web, because nobody can clear this stupid dungeon legitimately without some kind of questionable means, and barely if you're a 1%er of the whale category. Maybe not even the 1% whale. You have to be at the 0.5% Leviathan category to get through this. You need to be like Donnie level, and even then, it's finicky. This dungeon has issues. It's got problems. It's got debuffs. It's got Digimon that can ignore your block rate if it's not 150%. It's ridiculous. And if you don't take care of the mobs, they eat your ass out. It's ridiculous. And then we go to Susanomon's dungeon, where you get a good chunk of Digicode pieces, and you get a good chunk of your seals there, but you also, the Terra hasn't changed, and still the coin here. And Royal Base here has got probably one of the hardest nerfs to it, because you're usually running it twice a week, and I know you get more than 20 pieces running that dungeon as a party. So that got hit real hard if you're still trying to get your goggles up. And these double reinforcement chips, you need 3 to be able to craft a chipset, so at most you can get 5. The Sealmaster Random Pack took a huge hit, because you can normally get around about 75 to 105 from one run if you do 30 eggs and take out the Dexmon. And I guess they were nice enough to buff it up to 10 Terra instead of the 5 Terra. So yeah. So right now, these weekly quests are bad, because currently, in its current form, as of the date of me making this comeback from the grave rant of May 29th, before they even make any modifications, you have to do these dungeons multiple times to get these garbage ratioed rewards. I will say it one more time. You have to do these dungeons multiple times. You have to do some of these dungeons 3 to 5 times, which means you need to find some way to beat Armageddon's dungeon here 3 times. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, to get 1 run's worth. Literally. This is such an ass backwards patch of a mechanic that I can't even tell you if the developers in charge of the system, I know they don't even play their game. I want to know if they're even looking at the same game. I want to know if they're looking at like some kind of bootleg World of Warcraft game and thinking, yeah, that probably would work out. I know they're not looking at this MMO and thinking this will work. They're looking at something else and trying to have that MMO system work on this one. It's so unoriginal. So here's the big gripe. So if you blew all your tickets from this big old scare of all the dungeons are going away, well, you just played yourself, because here is probably the best possible part of this update is the conversion of excess passes to this dungeon exchange ticket. Exchanging Datamon Labyrinth passes, Royal Base Hards, Susannaman Dungeons, Kalo Arena, your MDG passes, your the pieces to craft them. Then you have your actual MDG passes, your Gullus cards, your Powerhouse Gears to go to do Chimeramon, Kaiser Laboratory, which is the the old one that you have to go do for Chaosmon's Quest. You have the crossword stuff. You have all of the Holy Beast stuff. You've got all the Odaiba stuff. You have all the easy and difficult increases of the Holy Dungeons, Royal Base stuff. The ancient ruins in Lost Historic. You've got the Infinity Mountain Dungeon, Kaiser's Laboratory, more Datamon, the Rainbow Road, Fuji TV, and all that. So this is where, unfortunately, this is where the best part of the update lands. This is the unfortunate part, is exchanging out these excess tickets to get these exchangeable tickets. You can get this garbage reinforced hacking tool, 300 pieces, or you can get 25 pieces of the special chicken combo, which would be there's a 50-50 shot that Global will get screwed, and this will be changed to cakes, which is not the worst thing in the world. And they've got the platinum bananas. Here is the best thing for NA DMO right now, both Omegamon and Alphamon server. Unsealing the seal. These are openers. A 20 pack per ticket. This is literally the best item for not only people that are unfortunately joining and beginning their quest in this game, and for people trying to finish out their mid-maxing and using this as an opportunity to stockpile on openers while the market is completely in the toilet. Buff is no good. Breakthrough data format drive, 10 pieces for one. I've got issues with this thing. I'm not going to go into a tangent about it. Let me just say that this breakthrough system is a big hunk of bullshit. I'll just be upfront to tell you that much. Then number change stone, 7 pieces for one ticket is very nice. Homeostasis fruits, 5 pieces. It's if expansions, good for beginners, not good for the people that are really up there that probably have their expansions maxed out. This one is upsetting. 1 option chain stone per 2 tickets. That's garbage. Hatch backups, it's still good for people who are finishing their D unit. That's another tangent for another day. Reinforced backup chip, that's an already existent tangent, but they're coming down in price, so they're no longer the 200, 300 terror on release. Good God. Option dice, I already said my piece on it. It's 7 tickets for 1 piece. And I know I wasn't going to say I was going to go to a tangent, but I'm just going to say this much. DMO could have went with adding an option to lock options to cost more dice. Literally. It could have literally been an option change stone system with a lock feature and just cost more dice. Expansions, good for new people coming in or people who need it for D units. Terra keys, irrelevant. 10 pieces for literally the potential of getting less than 2 Terra. Raramon, believe me, it's cheaper to buy them through the marketplace and not through an exchange, believe me. Experience Sapphire box, potentially good, but this is the one that probably goes up to 100. There are better options, like just using tuna. You could literally wait the week to use tuna to grind up several mons to 100 and 140 with it. Next biggest scam in the game, D-Unit hacking kit. 15 pieces for a singular piece. Singular piece. You need 100 of whatever rank it is to unlock it in the D unit. Then you need 1 per level and 30 to give it the transcended status. This is such an ass backwards system that could have just been completely... You could have went around it by just removing the Digimon that are no longer accessible due to the restrictions of the license and agreements and usage. They could have just gotten rid of it and just had a placeholder for it. Ultimate Digicubes, good for people that are starting out that need to clone their Digimon. Mercenary expansion pack, we've gone so long without an expansion. And special cat tuna box, literally just wait and do the weekly. Or just wait and do the tuna the once a week. It is not worth 100 pieces, I promise you. Then here we go. Big tangent. I'm getting heartburn just from reading this patch for the past hour. Just coming out of this and just reading it out and just getting off my chest. It's either that or the Arby's. It's one of the two. New reward item. This is the big one, where the Digimon Masters Dungeon coins, you get them from doing this. By the way, I hope you burned all your Gankumon training ground runs, because that's going away soon. You're gonna get screwed over and no longer be able to farm your AOX as efficiently and as easily as ever before. But don't worry, I rarely ever get the thing. So it's like I never even gotten it or even missed it. Royal Base gives you a coin. Susanamon Dungeon gives you a coin. The Metal Greymon gives you a dungeon. Both Gulluses give you a coin. Both Chimeramon dungeons give you a coin. If you can somehow beat the Armageddonmon, you get a coin. And if you can slap Gankumon multiple times for the week, you get a coin. You save up these coins, which is the new pity for DMO, the new pity coin on the street, in order to exchange it for the following. You can get a random box of a selection of one piece of getting a specific item from this selection random box. You can get a sealed cross-loader box, which only includes the Cherry Blossom or the Weed Vice. It does not include the Ultimate. And the True Equipment Selection box. So you can choose what awakened item you want. You want to get those awakened TK shoes? Alright. I'll do the math for you. So we know that most people could be able to can clear Dexmon easily with the party, SDG, Susanamon with the party, Metal Greymon with a party. You can probably deal with Gullus normal, easy with enough skill damage and basic attack and just cheese it. And if you can get into a party and just be a slapstick or support for Kaisermon base, as long as you don't use an AoE on the stupid Soulmons, you could probably get away with that. And then Gankumon's dungeon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Gankumon 6. Most casuals will be able to get 6 out of the 9 here. If you can somehow be able to deal with Gullusmon normal, that there's 7. If they ever fix Kaisermon's base, that'll be 8 for you. And if you can ever complete the Armageddonmon one in literally 3 times in 1 week without losing your hair, you got 9 coins. Let's suppose that you do all that, and you want to get those nice, squeaky clean awakened TK shoes. 400 pieces. 400 divided by 9 equals 44.4 weeks. So 44.4 times 7 days. That's 300. You will be on there about 311 days. You will be spending the better part of an entire year if you can be able to do all 9 of these. So let's suppose and say that, okay, Dark Web is beyond your capacity. Okay. 400 divided by 8, 50. 50 weeks. 50 weeks. That is literally 1 year and half a month for your Awakened TK shoes that you could potentially have gotten way faster by selling resources or just gambling it and literally just farming it through the dungeons and as a drop on the Kaiser domain map. What you can get from this dungeon reward box, if you chose to get the random box here, you have a chance at you can select what your awakened equipment piece is. You could get one where it's random, where you could potentially get an awakened shirt for TK that won't be useful for you. The sealed ultimate cross-loader box, which will include the Darkless loader, a condensation of amazing power, which is your Triple S Plus token. More on that later on. Condensation of power, that is your Triple S token. Digital energy drink, that is your item TK in a bottle. 40 option change stones scam. 40 numeral change stones scam. 40 ascension fruits scam. And 200 bananas. Probably the least amount of scam from these three. So as I take a quick breather to drink, I want you guys to soak in all that I've said for you. I'll give you a few seconds. Everybody good? Alright, moving on. Next up, class. This is the big one. This is the Holy Beast and Fanglongmon Dungeon Reorganization. Yep. So all the easy mode stuff gives you random seal boxes. It is completely garbage now. Because all these seals that drop are seals that most beginner tamers will get. Literally Guilmon, Guburimon, Tentomon, Demimeramon, Karamon, Upamon, Gatomon, that is Fanbeamon, Devimon, Dracomon, and that's Cordramon Blue, I believe. No, that's Cordramon Blue. That's Koromon, sorry. It's not a C, it's supposed to be a K. So yeah, Biomon, Gabumon, Elecmon, Alomon, Cordramon Blue, Patamon, Kunmon, Wasmon, Dorumon, Garurumon, Palmon. You get the gist. Black Gatomon, Dremojamon, Bamon, and Unimon. Yeah, it's just, you get the point. And then the normal rewards here, they changed up the whole system of normal, so now it drops, I'm just going to tell you, it just drops Booty Cheeks items now. All the pieces that drop here are related to the brand new equip system, which is, I will say, great for mid-game, but for those that have already conquered Metal Greymon and went on to better pastures, not so much. So, I'm just going to glossing over here. So you have the new 4-star equipment box. You have 4-star. 4-star. So there's going to be potentially a 5-star equipment box in the future. If this system has to bomb so bad that they abandon it and not try to make this be the next loot box. Spoiler warning, is going to end up being. So there's just really not much to say about this system, that I'm already overly angry about the other stuff, that I'm just glossing over this complete and utter destruction of the Holy Beast dungeons, because now those are only set to be done once a day. You could do the dungeon once a day, and you could be able to get You can't repeatedly do it. Yeah, these dungeons with tickets, you can only do them so much. And like these equipment pieces, they cap at level 10, and they have different tiers that you have to actively have to gamba and reopen over and over and over until you hit this top tier one. Like here, headpiece. This is your hat. This is the crown. Gives you hit and attack. Then you have your accessory. You have attack and skill damage. Then you have your shirt, HP and DS. Then you have pants. You have defense and hit. Then you have gloves, literally just crit. Then you have the shoes. The shoes cap at 500% EXP. It literally worse than a plus 10. Literally worse than a plus 10 TK shoe. And caps at 25% movement speed. It's literally it's garbage for anything that is under level 10 legendary or level 9 ultimate. And then you have a 6-piece set where you get 500 hit, 500 attack, and 2% skill damage. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to bridge the gap between this, for how long it takes to craft this, and originally before they patched a note from the Maestro doing damage control, this garbage is breakable. You can fail to ascend it from one of these. You could fail a level at some point, probably 5 to 6. There's a destruction chance from 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. Just like with our current equipment in the key rings, there's a destruction chance. They literally had to go out and backpedal because who is going to attempt this stuff in the current meta of DMO in 2025 and have a destruction chance with gear that is this underwhelming? It takes too long to make this, as opposed to just getting carried through Metal Greymon several times a week and just crafting, taking the 40 pieces there. Is literally 4 weeklies of that 1 month will get you enough to craft a 6-piece. It is absurd. And then we have the material costs and how much that you need this stuff. Piece of purified digital energy. These are runs that you have to do. You have to do the dungeons for these purified pieces on top of the boxes that you get, that you open up. It's all the same. And then they are deleting field raids. So the Haguilamon and the Mammothmon, they're gone. The Raremon and Phantomon, they're gone. So that's 4 less mobs for people to farm their true vices for. And instead they chose to lower the timer for the Myotismons, the Okuamon, the Groundramon, the Dark Tyrannomon, and the Myotismon. So they had to shuffle the items around, which is what they did, which is this. So the Myotismon drops a Shibuyamon reward box, and then the reward box of the Hill of Light, which is the Aquilamon stuff. This is where it has the Hawkmon stuff in it. And then the one in Minato, that one drops Essence of Evolution at a 32% chance, and giving you the Mammothmon box. And then the Groundramon also has the Essence of Evolution at a 32% chance drop, and having the Shibuyamon drop as well for Raremon and one for Phantomon. And then Dark Tyrannomon's is just literally just unchanged. And then they touched on D-Reaper 2 years too late, because nobody's really wanting to farm their D-Arc there anymore. It takes way too long. You got the Shinjuku West stuff, so they changed it from an hour to 30 minutes, which is nice. And they changed up the drops from 1 to 5 piece of D-Reaper form, which is still not good. And then you got the true data, which 25% chance. And then the 08s have a higher chance of dropping the concentrate. So it's buffed a bit, but it still sucks. And then they changed out the attendance, which will be hitting global soon. So the uniform's unchanged, Joker's still there, option change stone. Let me cross check. Yeah, so because the third one was for Dimension Shard. So now that got changed to 20 option chain stones. Magnetic's still the same. I think the banana's still the same. And then 6 and 7 is the buffs there. Arena ticket. Day 13. Yep, still the same. So yeah, so it's only the ones that involve the it was the only ones involving the dimensional shard. They got changed out. And then they have the attendance where you log in and you get a seal selection, and this is an aggravating thing because it's a new set. Because they earlier had this one before where you could be able to log in and you had to buy a bunch of it. You got one set for free for logging in for 7 days. Now this is a second separate labeled one. So this is a second different set. This is not the same set from the first one. It's stupid. And it's 200 pieces. And probably the most conservative thing is a 10% reduction on trying to increase your equipment for 2 weeks. Because it's already too expensive. Yeah. So, what else haven't I covered that I should be covering on this so I don't have to come back to it a second time? Because this tangent just run on way too long. It's just a regular, I guess, ASMR complaining of me coming back from the dead. Complaining about a game that should have literally have EOS'd many years ago, considering its incapability to manage and function. But because there's no competition, they just stagnated. It's pretty much the same as what Pokemon's done over the years. No competition with stagnation. So the collapse of Gankumon not being spammable means there's going to be less Triple S fuel in the market for people to buy to unlock. So that means the price of Triple S Plus Evos are going to go up. And it's going to go up substantially because I waited to the end of this tangent of this page to say it. But Global Digimon Masters Online has finally, after many months of it being removed on Korean Digimon Masters Online, finally stopped making the Omegamon's chance at evolution repeatable. So, whatever you've got in your inventory for Evos, I hope you've gotten a good chunk to be able to do those dailies. And I wouldn't be complacent with having 100, 200, 300, 500 plus. Because I'll give you the fair warning. There is a non-0% chance they will clear it from your inventory and warehouse. Do not get complacent having a bunch of those. They could still clear it. And have it going forward, they could clear it all or set it all to a max cap of 1. And have it all be synced across accounts, and you would log in to just having 1 in your inventory. So, start fusing while you still can, folks. Because Triple S Pluses are about to go up in price. U-Digis are about to go up in price. The game is dying more than ever before, in spite all their tryings. They brought out this very nice jump event that was very generous with, for once, not having you pick Susanobot or Bagra Uncle mode, giving you 4 good options: Shoutmon X7, Alphamon or Yukin Awakened, Zeed Millenniumon, Lusamon Shin. Good selections. Good picks. Some of them are needed for D-Unit. One of them could be used as a stepping stone if you pull X7 Superior mode from your Gambas. Overall, it's good. It's just a shame that they pushed this good one out right before this colossal, destructive update hit Korean Digimon Masters Online, and it will be coming to global within a matter of weeks. They don't care. They don't play their game. They don't test it. They don't check it. They don't quality test it. I promise you. They say they do, but they don't. I promise you. If they did, the game would be in a much, much better place right now, position-wise. We would not have contradicting changes and these mechanics that don't have us progress, but have us regress instead. Let's see. What else I want to get off my chest while I'm still here, while the mic is still hot? Because this is all one take. This thing is already 40 minutes long. And I already have to put no effort into the thumbnail. Spoiler warning. Well, I guess probably not. Because that's just what DMO is right now. So, yep. This is me coming back from the grave to tell you guys, if you're joining Digimon Masters Online for the first time, quickly leave, turn around, go play the physical other versions, go play World 1, go experience how fun or bad World 2 is. I promise you probably would find it more enjoyable than DMO. Go play World 3, get lost in it. Play it for a week, then put it down for a week, get confused of where you're at, where you're supposed to go, start a new game and start the whole thing over. Hell, go play World 4 with a friend. Make it a drinking game. Drink responsibly, folks. Or go play the wacky Digimon Savers game, the PlayStation 2 one. Play Cyber Sleuth. Go play Next Order. Or just be there around the corner and wait for the next Digimon game coming out, and hopefully it's not $90, God forbid. This industry, man. But yeah, all right. This is 45 minutes of me talking about Digimon Masters Online. If who knows, if you guys want me to keep ranting and raving and being true about the whole thing, about this whole game and whatnot, or talk about other topics and whatnot, if it's worth me coming back out of retirement to talk about a dying game, if people enjoy it, we'll find something else to talk about then. How about that? So this is Stein Omada, Bill Omada, signing off and going back in the coffin. Enjoy the dead game, folks. Enjoy while you still can.